If the people you love the most decided to turn against you because of what you believed, would you still have the courage to believe it? So in the book of Genesis, there is a story about this young man named Joseph. But as I walked further through this text, I realized Joseph isn't the main focus here. You are. Now pay attention, because this one is actually pretty crazy. We're introduced to Joseph as a young dreamer who was 17 years old. He shared his dream with his brothers by explaining to them how they were all gathering bundles of wheat when suddenly his bundle stood up straight and theirs bowed down to it. After hearing this, Joseph's brothers said, "Do you intend to rule over us?" And they hated him all the more. Now watch this. Though it may seem like it, Joseph's brothers didn't actually have a problem with his dream. They had a problem with where they stood in it. Had Joseph bowed down to them, it wouldn't have been a problem. So in other words, they didn't mind seeing him do good as long as it wasn't better than them. This is why you can't tell a big dream to a small-minded person, because they will try to keep you trapped in what they didn't make it out of. Now don't miss this, because this is their brother and all he did was share his dream. So why did they get so offended? Because the ones that hate you the most can often see the best. See, Joseph is the youngest, so to him this is just a dream, but to them this is a picture of possibility. Now why do I say that? Because let's put ourselves in their shoes. The Bible tells us that Joseph was loved more than his brothers. So they had spent the past 17 years seeing someone become everything that they wished they were. So it made sense for them to be angry, because Joseph's dreams accurately articulated how they saw themselves through their own eyes. Now watch this. Joseph had another dream, and this time the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowed down to him. After sharing this, his father and his brothers all rebuked him, and his brothers became jealous of him. When you chasing a dream that God has given you, family is not going to always support you. And if you really want this, you're going to have to be okay with that. Because sometimes following God means unfollowing family. So when they reject you and neglect you, remember this: it's nothing personal. You expressing your dreams just reminds them of how they stopped believing in theirs. So just like Joseph, if you believe God can, stick around and he'll show you that he will. Now, due to the amount of jealousy that Joseph experienced throughout this story, he was thrown into the pit by his brothers. They couldn't kill him and they didn't want to kill him, so they threw him into a place that he couldn't get out of on his own. But however, there was one brother of Joseph's that said, "We shouldn't kill him." Whenever we read the story in the beginning, we see that this brother is Reuben. And it says that Reuben tried to convince his brothers that we shouldn't do this. But the brother that actually saved him and said we should just sell him to the Ishmaelites was Judah. Now, it's important to know what Judah means, because if you don't really have a revelation of this name, this story won't be any significance to us today. Anytime that the Bible references something, whether it be spiritually or in principle, it always has some level of application that we can apply to our lives today. So the name Judah actually means praise. So whenever Joseph is in his pit, his brother Judah gets him out. Now, what does that mean for me and you? It means there's no pit that praise can't get us out of. So no matter what you may be facing, whatever it is, contrary to what the world may tell you you need to go party it up. You need to go to these different environments and take whatever measure necessary to get out of it. God tells you praise, because praise is the only thing that will really get you out of the pit. Now, another thing to note is this. Previously, we talked about Ishmael. We talked about Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar, and how this seemed to be a mistake. They operated out of God's will. But this shows us how God uses all things for the good of those who love him. Joseph was sold to the Ishmaelites. The Ishmaelites were a product of Ishmael. So had Ishmael not been conceived, Joseph wouldn't have got his deliverance. This shows us how sometimes whenever we feel like we've made the biggest mistake in the world, God can still turn it around and use it for our good. So my question to you is this: what pit have you been keeping yourself in that you haven't allowed God to get you out of?